Prince Harry walked into the Royal Courts of Justice this morning with a calm confidence that spoke volumes before a single word was said in the courtroom. All smiles, composed and focused, the Duke of Sussex arrived not as a disgruntled royal seeking attention, but as a man determined to hold powerful institutions accountable. Dressed in a dark suit with a white shirt and black tie, Harry moved through the crowds with quiet assurance, fully aware of the significance of this moment, not just for himself, but for every person who has ever been harmed by unethical media practices. This trial marks the start of a 9-week legal battle against Associated Newspapers Limited, the publisher behind the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday. It is not a small case, and it is certainly not a symbolic one. Prince Harry is one of 7 high-profile claimants who have taken a stand against what they allege were years of unlawful and deeply invasive activities carried out by a major media organisation. These are not vague accusations. They are detailed claims involving private investigators, covert surveillance, illegal access to personal information, and the systematic violation of privacy on an industrial scale. Harry arrived at the Royal Courts of Justice at around 10:05 in the morning, ahead of proceedings that were scheduled to begin at 10:30. The courtroom was packed, reflecting the enormous public interest in this case. Yet, despite the attention, Harry remained composed. Sources close to him described him as feeling confident, and that confidence is rooted in something far deeper than optimism. It is rooted in evidence, in persistence, and in years of lived experience with a press culture that has repeatedly crossed ethical and legal lines. This is not a spur-of-the-moment decision. The group of claimants began their legal actions against Associated Newspapers back in 2022. For years, many of them had suspected wrongdoing, but lacked the means or opportunity to challenge it. When the evidence began to emerge, it painted a disturbing picture of alleged practices that went far beyond aggressive journalism. According to court documents, these practices included hiring private investigators to plant listening devices inside cars, illegally intercepting voicemail messages, listening to live landline calls, blagging private records, and even obtaining confidential medical information. For Prince Harry, these allegations are not abstract. They are deeply personal. His entire life has unfolded under the glare of the media, and he has repeatedly spoken about the devastating impact that intrusive and unethical reporting has had on him and his family. From the relentless pursuit of his mother, Princess Diana, to the treatment of Meghan Markle when she entered the royal fold, Harry has seen firsthand how media excess can cause real harm. What makes this case particularly significant is that it is not just about the past. Barrister David Sherborne, representing the group of claimants, told the court that the alleged unlawful acts span a long period, ranging from 1993 to 2011, and in some cases continuing beyond that, even up until 2018. This challenges the idea that such practices were confined to a bygone era of journalism. Instead, it raises serious questions about how long these methods may have persisted and how deeply embedded they were within certain parts of the media industry. Associated Newspapers has strongly denied any wrongdoing. That denial has been consistent, but it has not gone unchallenged. In 2023, the publisher attempted to have the cases thrown out before trial, arguing that they were time-barred and brought too late. That attempt failed. The court allowed the claims to proceed, recognizing that there were legitimate reasons why the alleged wrongdoing may not have come to light earlier. This decision alone was a significant moment, because it acknowledged the imbalance of power between large media corporations and individuals, even those as well known as Prince Harry. Now, as the trial formally begins, the focus turns to the evidence and the testimonies. Prince Harry is scheduled to attend court tomorrow and Thursday, where he is expected to give evidence all day. After that, he is not expected to attend the remainder of the 9-week trial. This has already been seized upon by some critics, but the reality is far more straightforward. Harry is fulfilling his role as a claimant and a witness. His presence during his testimony is what matters. The rest of the trial will involve detailed legal arguments, document analysis, and witness statements that do not require his constant attendance. The image of Harry walking into court smiling is powerful because it directly contradicts the narrative often pushed by his detractors. This is not a man acting out of bitterness or spite. This is a man who has chosen the legal route, who has waited patiently, and who is now placing his trust in the judicial system. He is not calling for censorship. He is not trying to silence the press. He is asking for accountability and for the law to be applied equally, regardless of how influential the defendant may be. It is also important to recognize the broader implications of this case. If the court finds in favor of the claimants, it could have far-reaching consequences for media organizations across the United Kingdom. It would send a clear message that unlawful behavior cannot be excused by the pursuit of a story, and that powerful publishers are not above the law. For ordinary people who have been victims of phone hacking and other invasions of privacy, this case represents hope that justice is possible, even years later. Prince Harry has often spoken about the need for a healthier relationship between the media and the public. He has acknowledged the vital role that a free press plays in a democratic society, while also emphasizing that freedom must come with responsibility. This trial sits squarely within that belief. It is not an attack on journalism itself, but a challenge to practices that undermine trust, ethics, and human dignity. Meghan Markle's presence is felt even when she is not physically in the courtroom. The treatment she endured at the hands of certain sections of the press has been widely documented, and Harry has been clear that protecting his family is one of his core motivations. This case is part of that protection. It is about drawing a line and saying that there must be consequences when that line is crossed. The claim names dozens of journalists, including some national newspaper editors, highlighting just how widespread the alleged practices may have been. This is not about one rogue reporter or an isolated incident. It is about systems, cultures, and decisions made at high levels. That is why this trial matters so much, and why Harry's decision to pursue it despite the personal toll deserves recognition. As proceedings begin under the oversight of Mr. Justice Nicklin, the legal arguments will be complex and the scrutiny intense. Yet at its heart the case is simple. It asks whether individuals have a right to privacy, whether that right was violated, and whether those responsible should be held to account. Prince Harry's calm demeanour as he entered the court suggests a man ready to face that process head-on. There will no doubt be attempts to distract, to diminish, and to mischaracterize his actions. There always are. But the facts remain. This is a lawful challenge, brought through the proper channels, supported by detailed evidence, and shared by multiple claimants. Harry is not alone in this fight, and he is not acting impulsively. He is standing alongside others who believe that what happened to them was wrong. In many ways, this moment represents the culmination of a journey Harry has been on for years. From speaking out against media intrusion, to supporting victims of online and offline harm, to using his platform to advocate for change, this trial is a natural extension of those efforts. It is about transforming pain into purpose and using personal experience to drive systemic accountability. As the 9-week trial unfolds, the public will hear more about the alleged practices, the internal processes of media organisations, and the impact on those targeted. It will not be comfortable reading. But discomfort is often the price of truth. Prince Harry's willingness to sit in that discomfort, to relive painful experiences in the witness box, underscores the seriousness of his commitment. This is not about revenge. It is about justice. It is about setting standards. And it is about ensuring that future generations, including Harry and Meghan's own children, grow up in a world where the press operates with integrity rather than impunity. Today's images of a smiling, confident Duke of Sussex outside the Royal Courts of Justice will likely be remembered for a long time. They capture a man who knows why he is there, who understands the stakes, and who believes in the process. Whatever the outcome, this trial already stands as a powerful statement that even the most entrenched institutions can and should be challenged when they overstep the law. And as Harry prepares to give his evidence over the coming days, one thing is clear. This is not just a legal battle, it is a moral one. A stand for privacy, a stand for accountability, and a stand for the principle that no one, not even the most powerful media corporations, should be allowed to operate above the law.